Good morning, everyone. This is Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. And if you follow me, you know this is baby Tootie. And she was sleeping here beside me, but I woke her up just so she could be on here. I am back from vacation, and we were gone 4 weeks. Had a great time, but I had not filmed a video since, got my book, let me go to that. I had not filmed a video since March 5th. That's terrible. I did do a short video when we were on vacation about the BenQ light. Some of you may have watched it. I just kind of did a short video because that featured the light. I didn't show any of my stitching. The company had sent me a light and wanted to know if I could review it and talk about it on a video, so I did that. I wasn't at my best by no means. I wasn't feeling very well, but they were giving 5 lamps away. And I had to get that done by a certain date because the entry time frame I had to get it done. If any of you did win a BenQ light, let me know. I had some viewers that said they had them and really loved them. I love mine. I have 2 now, so I really enjoy stitching with them. And I use one in my craft room. So that kind of started me out a little bit out of whack, but anyway, this, like I said, it's been since March, so it's hard to tell how big of a disaster this video will be. It may be jumping from one thing to another, but that's kind of the way I do things anymore. I write a few notes, but it doesn't seem to pan out. I don't pay attention to my notes quite so well, but anyway, I'd like to welcome you back. If you follow me, I always enjoy hearing or reading your comments, and it's kind of like building a friendship through YouTube. And even though I don't know your face, I would love to be able to talk to you face to face, and it would be fun. But you know, we make friendships through YouTube and Instagram or whatever, so I'm glad that you follow me, and if you don't, I hope you will watch this one and see what you think about what I do. And if you're interested, subscribe and hit the like button. I have made it over 5,000 videos. I have made it to over 5,000 subscribers now. So I'm very pleased with how that has been going. I'm just surprised that many people follow me. And I did lose a few during vacation, but that's okay. You kind of gain a few and lose a few. So I have my steadfast viewers that I feel like I know, just like I know family, because we kind of stay in contact with each other, and would love to be able to get out to a certain state here and there and meet some of you. So anyway, just to kind of review my vacation since we were gone so long. And if you're not interested in any of that, just fast forward a little bit until you see me starting to hold up some stitching. And anyway, we did leave. I think we left around the 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there of April. So I have I have stuff to show you that from my last floss tube, which was March 5th. So I wanted to get a video done right before we left. Well, I didn't get that done. So you're gonna see a lot today, a lot of what I was gonna show in that video. And then I was gonna do a video when I got home of all the things that I bought while on vacation. And as of right now, I've made about 4 trips to the camper and brought stuff in. I have many more trips to make to the camper and bring stuff in, but I am not one that likes to just bring it all in and dump it. I like to bring some in and go through it, put it away, and all that stuff. And then a little later, go get some more. But I do have all my stitching that I bought. I did not buy as much as I normally do, but I have so much anymore that I really have cut back on buying. It has to be a pattern that really, really calls to me, because I do have so many, and you know, I can just kind of look at a pattern and think, am I really going to stitch that or not? So I've just been a little bit more selective. Threads, you know, you can always use threads, you can always use fabric. So anyway, I do have that to show you that I bought. But as I was saying, we left here around the 24th, 25th of April. We drove to, and as if some of you are watching watching me for the first time, we have a fifth wheel, a 40-foot fifth wheel, and we pull that. Our dogs go with us whenever we go anywhere, so we use a camper. That is mainly why we bought the camper. We love to camp, and we've had campers since our girls were little, but that's kind of why we bought the big camper, was so that we can take the dogs, we can spend longer time camping, not feel so tight in a smaller camper. We started with a pop-up camper and kind of gradually went up, you know, getting a little bit bigger each time we traded campers. So I think this 40-foot, that's going to be about it, because I don't think Steve wants to drive anything or pull anything any bigger, because backing in is not the greatest thing, but he does really good with it. So anyway, we drove to Amite City, Louisiana, the first day, and we stayed all night there, and we stayed at that little campground. It's an Albany campground. We stay there every year when we go to Gulf Shores, and then we got up next morning and drove on into Gulf Shores. And we've always did a 2-day trip, but we're kind of thinking about making it a 3-day trip, and then that way we can kind of quit after, riding after a few hours, set the camper up in a campground, and kind of just relax through the evening hours instead of just driving till you're worn out. So we're kind of thinking about that for the next long trip. But anyway, we got into Gulf Shores. We have been going there for probably 25 years, so it's all so familiar with us. So we got down there, and the first 4 or 5 days I didn't feel very good. I just laid around and didn't stitch, didn't do anything but laid around. So finally got to feeling better, and Steve was fishing during that time period, so I was fine, he was fine. That's mainly why we go, was so that he can fish out in the Gulf. So he loves to saltwater fish. He does want to go up north sometime and would like to fish in some of the Great Lakes. So we may think about doing that sometime. But anyway, I didn't feel so great the first few days, and then I got feeling better. So we just kind of do our thing while we're down there. We don't do any of the tourist stuff anymore. I like to stay at the camper. You know, I'm a homebody when I'm here. When I'm away, I'm still a homebody. I like to be in my camper. I like to sit outside and stitch or read. And that's kind of what I do. One day we went over to Pensacola and hit all the Goodwill shops, and I went to, he took me to, we went to all the Goodwills, and then we went by A&E Fabrics, which is where I love to go and really stock up on fabric for my project bags, and which I need to get on, because I've not made project bags for so many months that I've got to get back on that. So anyway, I bought quite a bit of fabric at A&E Fabrics in Pensacola. I'm trying to think of what all we did besides that. I think it was just the Goodwills and the fabric store. There is a cross-stitch shop now in Gulf Shores. She's been open a couple of years. It's called Creative Needlework Arts. And she's primarily, I would say primarily, or maybe half needlepoint. It seemed like when she was opening, I was in her shop when she first opened, and she really didn't have that much in cross stitch, but she's really expanded it, and she does have a lot of patterns now and a lot of fabric. So but the front of her store is pretty much all needlepoint canvases and specialty threads. So the back room is where she keeps her cross stitch and all of her DMC floss, her weeks, and gentle arts, that sort of thing, and her fabric. So anyway, it's a nice store. Diane is her name that owns it, and she's very nice. So if you're ever in the Gulf Shore area, stop by Creative Needle Arts and say hi to her and take a look around, whether you cross stitch or needlepoint. So I did make 2 trips there. They weren't long trips. I didn't stay in there a long time because Steve was in the truck, and I don't like to keep him waiting, even though he always says, oh, go in, take your time, I'm fine. He'll look at his phone or play a game on his phone or whatever, watch some fishing videos. So he's always fine with it, but I don't like to keep him waiting too long. So I made 2 trips and got a few things that I really liked. So I'll show those to you in a little bit. The second week, I believe it was about a week, about 10 days after we got down there, Steve's he has a sibling of 6 other, well, what am I trying to say? You know, my brain and my mouth just doesn't work. He has 6 siblings. Let's try to put it that way. He has 4 other brothers, so it's 5 boys and 2 girls. So 2 of his brothers that he's real close to, and their wives come down, and they stayed a week. They rented a condo. Well, they rented a little house that has, like, what do you call it, the duplex type thing, and they stayed in that. And so then we did lots of things with them, went out and eat, and they kind of went and did their thing because they had all been down there before, but so it wasn't new to them, but it was fun to have all of us together and to go out and eat and visit. And so his brother, I think it was the second day after they got there, his brother started coughing and carrying on. I had all this head and chest stuff going on. And then just like a couple days later, he got on some prescription medicine. So like a couple of days later, his other brother, he starts hacking and carrying on. And so then right after he got his, medicine, Steve starts it. And so they're like hacking and carrying on. It's like, I told him, I said, what have you all been doing? Is this brotherly love and you've been kissing on each other? And I said, because none of us girls got it. I mean, so I don't know what happened, but them 3 been hacking around the whole time. So Steve had to call and get some medicine called in at the pharmacy down there too. So let's see. So anyway, we did some things with them. Then when they left to head home, we just kind of did our own thing. One thing that we did do, and I'm going to refer to my notes because I kind of wrote down what I thought was kind of the highlights of our vacation, and to let you know. But one thing that we did the second week we were there, it was before his brothers showed up. Steve has been wanting an electric bike for the last 2 or 3 years, and I kept saying, we don't need them, not at our age, we just don't need them. And he's like, but he really would like to have one, and he thinks they'd be good for us to ride and get out, get the exercise. And I said, you understand that even though these are electric, yes, they would be great to get exercise if you pedal, but if you don't pedal, you're not getting any exercise. So anyway, he's like, yeah, I know, but he's still been talking about them. So he was, and in campgrounds, they're everywhere. Everybody's got electric bikes. So anyway, we went to a little shop down, it's a shop that it was in Orange Beach. And we had been there before because we had taken bikes last time, and his bike got to acting up, so we took it down there and they worked on it. But anyway, his regular bike. So anyway, we go to this Infinity Bikes in Orange Beach, and we walked in, and there was 3 employees there working. They had 1 customer. And so we walk in, and we're looking at all the bikes and the electric bikes, and we're probably in there 10, 15 minutes, and looking at the different bikes, and kind of looking at the price tags and this and that. And they never did acknowledge us. And so I told Steve, we were both getting irritated. And I was getting real irritated because I don't have a lot of patience for that. I worked retail, and I know how you're supposed to treat customers, and I was getting really irritated. And so while we're standing there looking at him, I grabbed his phone and I said, I'm going to look up other bike shops and see what we can find, because that's the only one we knew of. So I had found one, and so as we are turning to go out the store, this employee had gone outside, one of them, and had come back in, and as we were getting to leave, he said, I don't know, something like, can I help you, or did you find what you needed, or whatever. And I told Steve, I said, I think they just thought it was an old man and an old lady, and we weren't going to buy anything anyway, so why wait on us? But anyway, he talked to the guy for a few minutes, but the guy he never pointed out anything. He told us, well, they're pretty pricey, and this is this, and this is this, but he really never explained anything to us. I mean, he probably explained in 2 minutes and about a bike, and never gave us brands or anything. So anyway, we just left, and so we went down to the second bike shop, and that one was called the Pedigo Bikes, and that's all they sell are the Pedigo. And I had heard of them, but really didn't know anything about them, but I kind of Googled it on the way from Infinity Bikes to the Pedigo Bike Shop. And we went in there, and it was probably 20 minutes before they closed, and so the guy in there owns the shop. He actually works and owns it and works there by himself. So he said he spends most of the day putting bikes together. But anyway, was a great guy. I mean, we talked to him and told him we were kind of just looking at him, and he told us all about the pedigree. The Pedigo brand bike, all the features, and just everything. I mean, I just couldn't believe how helpful he was, because we told him we know nothing about him. So anyway, he really explained stuff to us. And so my husband never buys anything for himself, very rarely. Once in a while, he'll buy a new fishing pole and reel, or he'll buy a new gun or something like that. But he likes to collect guns, and of course, with fishing, he's always needing new rods and reels when they wear out. So anyway, he doesn't buy stuff for himself. So anyway, I had told him, I said, I don't really need one, but if you want it that bad, then I will use it, I think. So anyway, he looks over at me and he says, what do you think? And I said, this is your baby. You're the one that wants it. So if you want it, get it. And so, and I told him on the way to the bike shop, I said, you buy for everyone. He'll buy stuff for our girls and our grandson, and me. He thinks nothing about spending the money on all of us, but he just doesn't spend it on himself. So I told him, I said, you need to get something you want. And so anyway, asked the guy, said, okay, what do you do for two of them? So anyway, we were there till after the guy closed, and he didn't seem to mind at all. And then the next morning, he charged the batteries on the two bikes we picked out, charged them overnight. Next morning, he brought them out to the campground to us, showed us the features on it again so we could kind of refresh our memories, and it wouldn't be cold getting on it and not knowing what in the heck we were doing. So he was really great. So if you're ever looking for an electric bike and you're in Gulf Shores, Pedigo, he is a really nice guy. So love our bikes. We've already put several miles on them. We rode quite a bit in the campground. They have lots of trails there, so we rode a lot in the campgrounds. But what else was I gonna say? Anyway, we do like them. So I like the Pedigo brand, and they are the only electric bike. They give you a 5-year warranty, and all the others are 1-year warranty. Plus, each year we can go down and they service your bike for you. So that's a good thing. Kind of do a once over, make sure they're in good condition. But anyway, after that, it was just Steve was basically fishing, and I stayed at the camper. The first couple of weeks we were good with the yellow flies. If you've heard me talk before, the last time we were there, I ended up at urgent care from yellow fly bites because I had a bad reaction to them. I also do that with fire ants. So our kids say it's not vacation if I don't end up at the urgent care, which is extreme. I don't do that. 2 trips, I think, is all I've ever done. But anyway, first couple of weeks it was not too bad. And then the yellow flies started, seemed like they were moving in. So after that, I ended up with a lot of yellow fly bites. Luckily, nothing got infected or whatever it is. I didn't have that. I mean, I had a bad reaction. They swell up really bad and get red and itch like crazy. But I didn't end up at urgent care. I kept putting some medicine on them. So after that, I really didn't sit outside much just because it was the yellow flies. Like me and Steve never got one single bite because they don't bite him for some reason. And I'm so cautious of of fire ants that I really watch for them. Let's see. Let me look at my list. Oh, I forgot about this. The week after his brothers left, they had storm warnings out one morning, and they had severe thunderstorm warning out for our area. Well, thunderstorms and wind and a camper don't mix well. So anyway, we had the local weather on the TV, and we were watching it, and it had started early, probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock that morning. And we had a lot of rain and some thunder and lightning. So anyway, we had that local weather on, and they had put a tornado warning out for the 2 counties that were north of us. And that kind of made me a little leery because we could see what was coming through along the Gulf on radar. So it's kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of making me a little nervous. So I told him, I said, I'd hate to lose my camper and everything else in it, but I said, I guess if we have to go to the bathhouses for shelter, we'll do it. So anyway, with the 5 dogs, I put their harnesses on them and got their bag with their leashes and their poop bags and all that. Got that stuff together. I went up in the bedroom, and I got a great big tote that I have, and I put like all of our medicines in it. I put my purse in it. He had some money stashed in the camper, so we put that in there. you know, my jewelry that I hadn't been wearing. I didn't have it on, so I put that in a box and put it in there. So, you know, things like that that you really don't want to lose. Put that in that bag. Well, I was standing up in the bedroom. He was down in the recliner watching the TV, and I was standing up in the bedroom, and we had had no wind at all. And all of a sudden, this gust of wind just kind of hit the side of the camper, and it kind of just wobbled you for just a second, and that was it. But it was just a big gust of wind that just like slammed the side of the camper. And so, you know, I finished putting stuff in there in my bag, and I come back down, and I told him, I said, you know, that was really a big gust of wind that hit the camper. And he said, yeah, it was. Well, we look out, and there's still no wind or anything blowing to speak of. And then later in the afternoon, Steve's up in the bedroom taking a nap, because storms, they ended up, you know, not doing anything. We stayed in the camper. And I'm sitting there cross-stitching, watching TV. He's up sleeping in the bedroom. And my phone, my daughter calls and said, are y'all all right? And it's like, well, yeah, why? And she's like, well, a tornado comes, what she had heard, that a tornado had come through the Gulf State Campground and destroyed it. And it's like, I don't think so. I'm sitting here stitching. And she said, well, I saw pictures of trailers turned over. And it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We're just sitting here, you know, I'm stitching, Dad's taking a nap. We've never had really any wind or nothing. And so I couldn't comprehend when she kept talking about, I've seen pictures, there's proof of it, you know, all this stuff. And I said, okay, well, I said, we're fine. So I get off the phone, and I started looking, and sure enough, they said it was a straight line wind. It comes through that morning, and I feel like it had to been when it hit the side of the camper, just that one gust. But a small camper along the canal had blown over, slid down the road into a fifth wheel, and they were talking. It made the news down there, and they said if it hadn't been for this big fifth wheel that the small camper turned over and slid into on its side, if it hadn't been there, the little camper would have gone out into the marshy area. So and I'd heard later that they were from Canada, and he was in the hospital. But then on down, kind of between us and where that happened, there was a big fifth wheel, and it just laid it over on its side. And it was probably about the same size as ours. There were no other campers in that row but that one. And so I don't know whether it would have damaged other campers or what, but it did lay that one over on the side. And it's, you know, it's just like knocked it all apart, because campers aren't built very good to begin with. So it had destroyed that camper. And then I was on a Facebook group with the Gulf Shores State Campers, and another lady had said that they were staying along the lake road, which kind of is also part of the canal road. And she said they had a fifth wheel, and it lifted them up and dropped the front of the camper back down and broke the jacks out from under it. So after I heard all that, it kind of like, that kind of scared me. So I've kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes you open your eyes and see how the weather is so goofy right now, how these tornadoes jump around, because it was really three campers involved in all of that park. And it's a big park. It wasn't full, but it's still a big park. But anyway, I think I'll be a little more aware of what's going on weather-wise with it. But yeah, it's just been a crazy year for the weather, hasn't it? You know, I like to watch storm chasers on YouTube, so I've been following a bunch of them, and they are really staying busy. And the towns you know, your heart just goes out to everyone that's been caught in the line of these things. And I don't know, it's just scary. I would hate to lose everything. So anyway, let's see. That's about it, I think. So let's get on to some stitching because I have taken up enough of your time with just talking. I was going to show you my March book. I got to get my glasses on. Nope, they're not up there. Steve usually says they're on your head. So anyway, March, I ended up, let me find my column here. I ended up having a total of 8,372 stitches, and I had 2 starts and 2 finishes, and I stitched 25 days of 31. So, but on total, I stitched on 5 different projects. So, that wasn't too bad. Now, April is pitiful. It's just an embarrassment, but that's vacation. So in April, I had a total of 4,081 stitches. So that's about half of what March was. I had no starts and I had no finishes. And I only stitched 14 days out of 30. So yet see that I said it was pitiful. And I only stitched on 2 projects, but there's a reason behind that. So, and so far this month, I still have missed quite a few days because if you see anything in the red writing, I did not stitch on those days. But again, that was part of vacation because we didn't get home until I think it was around the 23rd of this month. So we haven't been home very long. But anyway, that's my May. So on finishes, okay, we have Toot wants back up here. You want back up here? Say hi to everybody. Say hi to them. Yes. She's my little love bug, aren't you? I know. Okay, you want to lay down? Okay. I feel like I have something in my eye, and I need a drink. So on finishes, sorry. I feel like I have a dog hair or something in my eye. On finishes, I had, let me pull this out. I don't think I marked the page. Yeah, I did mark the page. Okay, this, I don't know, the way my floss tubes have been, I don't know if I showed it to you while I was working on it. It was a very quick stitch. I originally was going to do 24 starts in 24 from Primitive Stitcher magazine, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, and I had them all marked, and I've only done a couple, so that's probably not going to pan out. But you all know me and my plans. This is the spring issue of 2021, and this little pattern right here, this over here has nothing to do with it, but it's, let me see if I can get it up here without showing that other one. So this little sampler is called Sampling of Spring, and it's by Leela May Designs, and which is Jennifer Richardson and Kim Gavlik, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. So anyway, of course I don't have any FFOs because I never have FFOs. So this is my piece, and see if I can put it up there. Do I need a piece of paper behind it? I can never tell. I gotta get these off again. Okay, so there's my little sampler. I thought it turned out really cute. I don't know if I'm gonna, I think I might, whenever I do some finishing, I might do that just in a little simple flat fold because it's not that big. But I thought it turned out very cute. And I needed to see more, I need to see some more small finishes. And that's why I thought the magazine idea was gonna work well because I can do those quickly. I also finished by Heart and Hand. I believe it's Heart and Hand. It was a little kit that I found at a flea market, and it was the pattern and button and the fabric. And it was called Tall Turkey. And I also finished him. Be ye grateful. And I used my own colors on this. I just tried to pick something that was close to what, if I didn't have it, I picked, it called for, I'm not sure if it called for Weeks Dye Works or Gentle Arts, but I just winged it and went with something else if I didn't have it. So yeah, this is Tall Turkey. It was an old pattern, so, you know, I don't know if it's still available or if you can find it on eBay or Etsy or whatever. So anyway, that's Tall Turkey. So I did have a couple little finishes. And then I said I had only been working on 2 projects. Actually, I had worked on 3 since my March video. But the reason why I have only worked on 3 was because I was really wanting to get some progress done. This piece is the oldest piece I had. I started it in 2019, and I really wanted to get older projects done, and I've been trying to work on that, you know, more. So anyway, this is, let me get the pattern and show it to you. It's alphabet blocks, a whole kit and caboodle, and you've seen it many a times. It's by Carriage House Samplings, and I don't remember. I think this is lamb's wool linen. I don't remember, but I think it's 32 count lamb's wool linen. And here is my finished piece. Let me try to unroll this curl down here. I was so excited to get this done. I finished it 2 days ago. Well, let me show you back here, and then I will show you up close. I'm gonna have to get up. So I did start this 2019. I did it according to the pattern, except on the background behind the words it called for 1 overdyed floss, and I can't remember if it was a Weeks or Gentle Art or what, but I had seen this years and years ago, and somebody had taken it and used different colors for the background, and I really liked that the best, so I decided I was going to do that. I did a lot of things to this, and I did write everything down. I'm going to put it in the description box if I can get it all in there. Let me get my pattern just to remind me. Not my pattern, my book. I wrote all of that down so I could let you know, and now I can't find it. Hold on. All right, we're going to have to just wing it, I guess. Okay, let me see if this comes to mind. The border is, I think I did the border in the called for colors, so I'm really not going to be able to help you there, but I am going to put down the colors I used. I did all of these pretty much with, it calls for Gentle Art, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure it's Gentle Art. I used DMC on it, except right here on the elephant, and I'll show it. I'll show the elephant to you. I used 2 strands. All of it's done in 2 strands, but I did 2 different shades of gray because I wanted him to have a little texture to him. So I did that. So like I said, I'll put all these notes in the bottom. Let's see if I can think of anything else. The R, they had a separate pattern that was for reptile. They had rainbow or reptile, and I'm not sure why you had a choice of that, but I did rainbow. Then on the squirrel, one of the S's, and I believe it was the small S, did not look like an S to me, so I just charted my own S and done that. T, U, V, W, X, let's see, yeah. Okay, and then the Y and the Z, and on the Z, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it close enough and hold it steady. I did some straight stitches along that wagon. It was, I guess it's hay piled up in it, but I did some little straight stitches down to where it looked like the hay was hanging off the edge of the hay wagon. So I added that to it. This is my wrought by, I'm trying to read this backwards, wrought by me in the year 2024. And then over here I put my full name, and I don't know, I grafted it out, but then I didn't think I centered it quite so well, so I don't know. But anyway, I had this little gap. I kind of had an open area right here that I felt needed something. So I decided, since I had the 2024 on the other block, I'll put my birth year there. So 7/7/56 is my birth year. So anyway, I believe that is all the changes I made. Like I said, I've got the notes. I'll probably find the book down amongst this mess here in a few minutes. So if you're interested in any of that, I will let you know. I also kept track of every color that I filled in the background with. So if you're interested in that, I also have that written down that I will include in the description. And so that is all of my whips, all of my finishes. I'm sorry. Let me get a drink. Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be a long video. I don't have these open and ready to go, so I'm going to have to do that for just a second. Okay, I have been working on a little bit. I kind of quit and went to something else, but I was working on Gerald by Kathy Barrick. And I love all of her birds. I have a lot of them. I don't have them all yet. I just kind of pick them up here and there. But I love Gerald. And she always uses needlepoint silk, and then she gives you a DMC conversion. And so I have a lot of the needlepoint silks, and so I ordered the ones I didn't have, and I started it. I was trying to figure out which direction it goes. So I started it. I think this is Lakeside linen. It's a scrap that I had, and I couldn't tell you what the color is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Lakeside linen. I did, what's it called? I can't think of it. It's by Sampler House. It was, Seeking Refuge, because it's hanging on the wall right here. I did that in 2020 when we were all confined to home. So anyway, this is my needlepoint silk on Legacy linen, and I'm using one strand over 2 threads. And this is just scrap fabric I put at the top. So anyway, I worked on that, and then I kind of put that aside. And while we were on vacation, I took 5 projects with me on vacation, and I didn't end up working on but 2. So I worked on Gerald before we left, but I took him with me thinking I would work on it. I took Pink Sparrow's sampler, and I worked on her. Let me get a piece of paper again. I worked on Pink Sparrow sampler on vacation, kind of in between working on the alphabet blocks. So there is Pink Sparrow sampler. I did everything below. I just heard a weird noise, and I'm home by myself. Speaking of weird noises, off topic. Yesterday morning, my husband and I were sitting here watching TV, having our coffee. And I don't have an app on my phone for it either. But, well, we call her Hazel. She's our robot vacuum. So we call her Hazel from the TV show of Hazel being a housekeeper. So anyway, Hazel just starts running by herself out of the blue. I know you have apps where you can start them and run them at certain times. I don't have that. My kids say our house is haunted because it's old, and I said, I don't know. So I told Steve, I said, that is very weird. Do you think it's one of our spirits? So, might have been. Maybe one of our spirits thought we needed to clean house since I got home and hadn't done it. Okay, back on topic. I did everything from the squiggly line here down while we were on vacation. I love this pattern. And I used all the called for threads for it. And I was going to get the pattern out. I didn't do that. Make sure that's it. I saw so many people stitching on this. And it's been a good while back. It was when it first came out, because I never start anything when it's first released. I buy it and then I hold on to it. But anyway, I love this pattern. And I finally bought it. But I was not impressed with the picture. Every time I looked at the picture, it's like, no, I don't like it so well. And then I'd see somebody stitching on it. It's like, I love that pattern. So I held off for a long time, and then I finally broke over and bought the pattern. And I just love the colors in this. So, but she uses Weeks and Gentle Art. And I think I'm just using DMC. And I don't know, I have no idea what color that is. It calls for a 30 count parchment, but I think mine's probably either a 28 or a 32. I tend to stitch on higher counts now, but I have a ton of 28, so I need to stitch on that to use some of that up too. Okay, so project number 3 that I worked on, I didn't start on it until yesterday. I pulled it back out, and it was my second oldest. So when I finished the alphabet blocks, this is now my oldest whip. So it's called, I have the chart but in the package, but this is that way you won't get the glare. It's A Flower a Day by Carolyn Manning. And I have been working on this since 2019. This is the last of my 2019 whips. I am doing it on an 18 count Aida cloth that I dyed myself. It is a bright yellow, so trying to see. I think it gets washed out more when it's up close, but it is a bright yellow that I used. I am about halfway done. So what I ended up doing when I worked on it the last time, I took the entire pattern that I had left and I drew sections around it, and I'll try to show you what I did. If you can see, if I can hold it still, because you know how my hands shake, you can see kind of like ink pen marks or a pencil mark that kind of draws circles around everything. So I drew around what I thought I could do in a day, since it's called A Flower a Day. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do a flower a day, and then once I get that flower done, then I'll stitch on something else for the rest of the day. So I did that, and I really enjoyed doing that, but then I got off on my alphabet blocks and wanting to get that finished, so I quit on it. So now I am back onto my flower day. So this is now the number 1, and this is the top of the line. This gets worked on first every day. So if I don't have much time, then I'm gonna last night I only got this flower in after I pulled it back out. Well, I can't get my hand up there, But this flower right here, that was all I got done, so I didn't get to stitch on anything else. And so what I'm going to do is stitch on this, and then I'm also going to continue to stitch on Pink Sparrow Sampler. Now, Pink Sparrow Sampler, I started her in 22, I think it is. Let me make sure. Yeah, I started her September 25th of 22, but I just like it so well, and I wanted something different. Instead of working on all old projects, I wanted to work on something else, so I pulled that. So right now I'm concentrating on a flower a day and Pink Sparrow Sampler, and I may put in a third one just for a little variety. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So that is all of my whips. Now we're going to move on to haul. Let me get another drink here. I really do have quite a bit of haul. I do have a lot of thrift finds, some before we went on vacation and some that we got on vacation, but some of it will still be in the camper, so I'll have to show you later on. Whoops, there's my flower day. So let's start out with this Bird Nerd. I know you all have seen this. Amity from the Hathaway Stitchers. It's her, Amity, and her sister Erin. The Amity is under Boomerang Stitches on Instagram, and I forget, I'm sorry Erin, but I forget what her Instagram name is. But Amity designed this Bird Nerd, and it also, she charted it so that it says Bird Herd, I think it is. I don't think I printed that one out. I didn't. I just printed out Bird Nerd because I am a bird nerd. I love this piece. This is one that I may start before too long. I've been really good about not starting anything. I counted and I think I have 28 whips. So I may start this piece pretty quick. I'm trying to decide some things that I want to start, and it's like, oh, I want to start that. Oh, I want to start that. I want to start that. So I don't know. I can't narrow it down, and I can't decide whether to start several things or stay with one. This was but anyway, Amity designed this, and so I want to thank her for this pattern that she did. You can go over on, is it Etsy? Let me see if it says. It just says designed by Amity Phillips 2024 Boomerang Stitches. So I'm sure you can go to their channel and you'll find where you can go to get that, because I printed that out before we left on vacation. And then this one I printed out. It was a free copy from Leela Studio, and it's called Flag Bearer. Well, I guess if it's a free copy, it doesn't matter, does it? But just go over to Leela Studio, and you can print it out with the color chart and the black and white, and the black and white and the color keys. So, yeah, it's this rooster, rabbit riding a rooster with the little chicks and carrying a flag. So I really want to start this one too. So anyway, Leela Studio, free pattern there. And thank you to both of them for offering those as a free pattern. Then my next purchase, well, this comes, I have a subscription to the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I love this piece. This had so many, I'm sure people have done flip throughs, but there was so many cute patterns this time. Here's that little rabbit dropping carrots from his carrot plane. I mean, I could stitch every piece of cross stitch in here, I think. I don't do punch needle. I don't intend to learn punch needle. It's, here's one from Shakespeare's Peddler. Like I said, I'm sure you all have seen it. But I like that. So anyway, but I love this one on the cover, and that is by Jan Hicks. Jan does some beautiful pieces, and I have several of hers I would like to do. I also, this is everything I got before vacation, if I didn't say that. I finally got Maggie May, and I finally got Miss Hazel. Because when these came out at market, I went on online and I ordered a whole bunch of these crackers. And I think I still need one or two. Tanner, I think I still need one or two. And every time I would get notice that these were back in stock, by the time I'd get over there to reorder, they were out of stock again. So finally, got these two in. I finally jumped on it. I'm going to pause just a minute. Okay, Tanner had to go outside. Okay, so back to haul. I ordered this. I think I ordered this when I got Maggie May and the other one. This is from Robin Pickens. I had not heard of Robin Pickens until I saw these, and she's really got some pretty designs. This is called Season Courier Blue Jay Summer. Excuse me, Blue Jay Summer. And I got the summer one, and then I got the spring one. This is Robin Spring. So I thought, well, those would be good to work on now, but I haven't started them. Have not started them. And everybody's seen this already. It's Cross Stitch magazine. I subscribed to this one too. It had some cute patterns in it this time too. This was cute. And you know, if we could just stitch everything we want to stitch, we would. Wouldn't it be nice? I don't know where we'd put it all, but my house, I have a big house and it's full of cross stitch, and it's like, where am I hanging this? Okay, I did order this from Amazon because I've really gotten to where I like these Luca S kits. So I got two Luca S kits for Christmas, and one from my oldest daughter, I believe, and then one I think for my husband. Anyway, there was a reindeer that I did not get from my Christmas list, so after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, I went online and ordered it for myself, but I haven't got that one started. I got the Santa started. So I ordered this one because I love sunflowers. I love the pottery piece. So I had to have it. These are such nice kits. I love them. So anyway, Luca S. Now that's, nope, a couple more things here. So I had mentioned Marie Minders for needle magnets. My brain is working faster than my mouth. Marie Minders. She is in Alabama. Her name is Abby, and she does the cutest needle minders. And I think I've bought 3 or 4 from her, and then she had her spring line come out, and I had to go order some more. So I ordered the lemon, the sliced lemon, and the sunflower. And these are good size. I mean, this is probably, I don't know, how big would this be? 1.5 inches maybe. It's good size. And so is the sunflower. And then on the magnet on the back, she didn't used to do this, but she does this now. She puts, they're made out of polymer clay, and she paints them. There's a big fly in here. And then she does these little stars and puts them on, glues them to the back of the magnet. So I think these are really cute. So I ordered those. And then I ordered, this was not, well, here, let me show you these two first. Okay. And then I ordered the, does it show up better if I do that? The sea turtle and the seahorse. Because anybody that knows me knows I love turtles. I love tortoises and I love sea turtles. So I got those. And this was not new to her line, but I'd been looking at it and I hadn't ordered it. So I went ahead and ordered the wolf. And I really like that one. So I ordered those. Oh, my eye is itching. That is everything from before we went on vacation, except for now I'm going to show you this one find that I got. No, I got more than one find. And if you know me, you know that I love ships. I found this at Goodwill. I couldn't grab this thing fast enough. I absolutely love this. It's just an ink printing on it. It opens up like that. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I love it. I mean, it's great shape. $4.67. And it's big. So I gotta think of something I can do with it. Then, this was before we left on vacation that I found these. So I don't know about you all, but I love to watch thrifting videos on YouTube. And one of them that I watch all the time is called Vintage Bombshell. Selena is her name, and her and her mom go to thrift shops all the time. But she also does things like, she loves vintage clothing. So she might find vintage clothing, and it looks so pretty on her. She does outside decorating. She does gardening. She does decorating in their home. They own an old Victorian home, so she shows how she takes vintage finds and uses them in her home. So if you like that kind of thing, check out Vintage Bombshell. She also started a second channel recently where they had bought a cabin up. She's from the Oregon coast, and they had bought a cabin up along the Oregon coast, and they've been remodeling it. And so it's fun to watch how they've progressed from when they bought it to right now. And that channel of hers is called Cabin on the Cape. So if you like that kind of stuff, she's just a wonderful person. I enjoy her and her husband Pete so much. So anyway, she's always thrifting. I watch some other thrifters too, so I'm always on the lookout for stuff. So her and her mom had gone into a flea market or antique shop or something, and they found a whole bunch of these little like cups with a spout, and she didn't know what they were used for, and her mom didn't either. I never seen them before either, so they kind of reminded me of a mustache cup, but yet they really aren't either. So it was the weirdest thing, because I seen this video. She didn't buy them, but they show a lot of other stuff. We go out to Goodwill. What's set on the shelf but one of these? And I said, that is so weird. I'd never seen one before. She had never seen one before, didn't know what it was, and here I go like a few days later to the Goodwill, and it's one sitting on a shelf. So anyway, I found out, I Googled the picture of it, and some people called it a baby food feeder, which I don't think it was. Most everywhere I looked, they called it an invalid feeder. So I guess they would, like maybe soups or broth, they would put that in there, and then an invalid, someone who's bedridden, could drink from the spout, and then this would keep it from all coming out on them. So, yeah, I thought that was so cool and so weird that it showed up just at the time I saw it. I don't know. I would have probably bought it anyway just because it's so strange looking. I never seen one before. I found this little metal tray, and it's got the eagles along the sides. I'm not sure what it's used for. This is just an open tube where they've curled the metal. And I mean, it would work great for napkins. So I'm not sure what it really is. And I'm not sure if it's old. Let me look. There is a label on the back. Stitch in Time, Thyme, 201 Main, East or West Main, Collinsville, Illinois. Okay, so maybe it's a reproduction. But I'll take it because it looks old and I love the eagles. And then I found this, and the minute I found this, I grabbed it. This is the back side. I'm going to show you the back side first. This is the back side, and this is a big picture. Look at this front. Isn't that beautiful? And I found this online, anywhere from like $30 to $50, and I gave $15 for it at Goodwill. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to put anything in it or not. I think some flowers would be really pretty in it if you just kind of like put them real short. And I don't know. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I had to have that one. That's mostly what I say when I buy anything. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to buy it. Steve, he'll see me buying something. What are you going to do with that? I don't know. I'm just going to buy it. I'll find something for it. Then I found this also at Goodwill, and I don't think it's old. I think it's just a reproduction, but it's got the leaves for handles on both sides, octagon shape. It's got this glass, and this isn't even glass. I think it's acrylic. It's smooth on this side. It's smooth, and then it's textured on this side, and I give $4.87 for it. But I thought that was really pretty, and I thought that would look pretty on a dresser with perfume bottles or something, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. So I picked those up. And then at Goodwill, I found this, and I paid a little bit more for it, but I thought it was worth it. I gave $7.48 for it. This is a Heinz kit for laundry, so I'm going to hang it up over my laundry area. And I don't know, I would say this is probably still available because they did charts with lettering, and then they would add the charms to the packet. And it's got a rip in it up here, but I don't care. I'll probably leave it. But I thought that was really cute. And like I said, I paid a little bit more for it, but it's worth it. And then it's actually stitched with the overdyed floss. If you notice, like the D and the R, it's got the overdyed floss on it. Okay, the next find I have, and this came from a thrift store, it looks like, because it doesn't have a Goodwill, but it's a mirror. You can see there's the dog's toy box and the tripod on the books. But anyway, this hexagon mirror I thought would be really handy for some stitching. I could, I could put it on the wall with just the mirror and be fine, but I thought it would be kind of nice for some stitching too, because you don't usually see those kind of frames. And then I found these, and when I bought them, they all fell apart. But let me try to hold them up anyway. I found these at a thrift store, and they're oval, they're metal. I am thinking these are probably something like home interior. Years ago, probably back in the 70s, Home Interior was a big home decor company, and they did home parties, kind of like Tupperware parties. And I had, back in the 70s and 80s, I had a lot of home interior design, or home interior things. But I thought these would be really pretty. I thought these would be pretty with flowers or birds framed in them. But what they came with was a little girl. They even have the glass. And this is the real glass. But there was a little girl in one, and some flowers here. They are filthy dirty. The glass is really bad. Some more flowers. And those, if you cleaned them up, would probably look kind of nice anyway, but they have felt on the back, so that's why I think they're home interior too. But anyway, I bought those, but they were like together, bundled, and when I took them apart, the backs just fell out. So, anyway, that is all of that. One thing that, let's see. Okay, so that's everything from when I went on vacation. So now the stuff that I bought, since I don't know why I have T-pins there. This is what I bought on vacation, found at a thrift store down there, or what. So, look what I found. My book with all my instructions for alphabet blocks. Okay. So while I was down there and I went to Creative Needle Arts, I bought the Winter, Cardinals Winter by Robin Pickens. And then if you follow Helen D, she did tutorial on, might have been Robin Spring. And then this one is Blackbird's Autumn. So now I have all four. But she did a tutorial, a finishing tutorial on one of these on her channel. So, and I bought this by Jan Hicks. It is called Palace of the Winds, a study of variegated threads. So I wanted kind of a gray fabric. I couldn't really find anything that I liked with the gray, but I ended up buying, and I just kind of bought it just to see. I don't think I'm going to use it. I don't think I like it for this. I like the color because I like grays, but not for this. But I bought just a gray 18 count Ada. What's it called? Anthracite. Anthracite. Some kind of crystal or something, I bet. Anyway, I bought it for this, but I'm not going to use it for this. And then I bought the DMC flosses. Now this is the thing. If you bought this pattern, read the pattern before you do anything. Read the back of it. Because I bought it. I bought the fabric, or else I just bought the pattern. I don't know. So I look and look and look for a red variegated floss at Creative Needle Arts. And I could not find a red that I really liked because it's got dark red, medium red. Well, I'd say burgundies, not really reds. But it's got dark, medium, light, and then it even goes into almost a white. And I couldn't find anything that I liked. So I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait. So I bought the pattern. So I ended up, I was trying to think. No, I did buy a DMC variegated red. It was a burgundy. I did buy that. So I bought a whole bunch of them, because I ended up having to take them back to the shop. So I bought this, bought the thread, bought the fabric, go back to the camper, and I get to reading about this because it says a study in variegated threads. So I'm reading this, and I pull this out, and the pattern has symbols that are not all the same symbol. So this is not done in one color. So then when I look, I pull out the color key, and it calls for 3 shades, 3 DMCs. So I had to go back to the shop and say, this is one of these that you need to read before you buy supplies, because I had to take the DMC pattern, or the DMC floss back that I had bought because it was a variegated floss, and buy the regular floss in the 3 shades it called for. So, but I still don't like this fabric, so I think I have dyed a lot of gray fabrics myself, and if I don't have something already dyed, I think I'm gonna work on it myself, trying to get a color I like better. I bought some fabrics that I thought were really pretty. Now this one is a 36 count Bestitch Me linen called Coconut Shell, and I got a fat half. I usually try to buy big cuts of fabric. For one thing, there's the back side. For one thing, I feel like when I buy big cuts of fabric and I only have about a 2-inch border on anything I stitch, I get more cuts per piece of fabric. So I feel like I save more money by buying the piece that's bigger than, just the small ones. And I don't know if it works that way or not, but I just feel like it does. I just feel like I can get more projects out of it. I mean, if you have a really big project, then it might not. So then I bought this one, and this one is a 40 count, let me look, Newcastle linen from Color and Cotton called Aged Paper. And I got a fat half on it. I don't have any of this aged paper, and I've heard so many stitchers that have stitched on it. And I wanted to pick up some stuff that was more antique looking. So, and I don't know what this is, but when I unfolded it, it's got a purple dye spot on it. So it's like, nice. I'm gonna have to work around that. So anyway, I got that one. Let me just put these back in here so I don't forget. I need another drink. I hope y'all are enjoying this, and I'm not taking too long with everything. It would be overwhelming if I showed everything, even what's in the camper. So that'll be another video. Oh, I did buy this, and I don't remember where. Goodwill. That was probably before we left. It's just, where's the label? 28 count Irish linen. So anyway, this one is called, it's a 36 count Weeks Dye Works linen called Parchment, and I got the fat half on that, and it really is a nice one for antique pieces. So, let's see, a 36 count Parchment. Well, sorry about that. Okay. Then I bought 36 count Edinburgh Color and Cotton Sampler Gold, and I bought a fat half. And this one I love. Kind of looks kind of orangey, doesn't it? But it's not. It's more of a golden color. So this is, what I say, sampler gold. And it's a fat half. And I bought that on one trip that I went there. And I liked it so well that I didn't realize it till I got back to the camper. I bought it in a fat quarter. So I have 2 of those. And then I was looking through her patterns. And I found an original Prairie Schooler cardstock vintage eggs, and I did not have this one. I have lots and lots of Prairie Schoolers. I have more Prairie Schoolers than I don't have, but I did not have vintage eggs. And so I was really excited to get that one in the cardstock. And it's like, okay, I think, was it Hoffman's that bought Prairie Schooler out? And I'd like to know when they're going to learn to print these Prairie Schoolers on some decent paper. I'm not buying them. I'm just not going to buy them. If they can't print on decent paper for what they're charging. I used better paper here at my house than they use. So as a publishing company, they can certainly use better paper. And that is my gripe of the day. Maybe it's early. Okay. Then I bought some Splendor Silk because I've been trying to expand my Splendor Silk line. If you've never stitched with Splendor Silk, try it sometime. You will love it. It's a 12-ply silk. You get 8 yards to a card. And it is hand washable, although I don't wash my stuff. I just make sure my hands are clean. So anyway, I just was going to add a few colors to what I already have. And so I went with a couple of blues that look good together. And then this other one's a little bit more aqua. So I got those. And I got these 3 browns. They were all together. A lot of times with theirs, they'll have the numbers in a series. And they all kind of blend together. So like 1135, 1136, and 1137. So I thought those were good. And I keep these in a, can't think of what it is, kind of like a spreadsheet in my phone, so I know what colors I have and don't have. And then my purchase of the day, or the purchase of the trip, well, this is my favorite thing. I'm going to take it out of the package. I looked at it, and I put off because I did not need any more needle magnets, and I didn't need to spend $25 on a needle magnet. But when I found out that it was a trunk show and it was also on sale and I only had to pay $17, I bought it. It's by Big Buddies. And again, if you know me, you know I like ships. And I had to, let me try to focus. I had to have this. This is my favorite purchase of the whole trip. And then I already have Big Red Ship of Life that is in my whips. So this is going to go on it. So I absolutely love this. So I don't know if she still has her trunk show going on. But you might try. I believe she has a website. It's called Creative Needle Arts in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So if she still has her trunk show going on, she had a lot of magnets and they were all so pretty. But I had to have this one. There was a couple others I could have bought, but it's like, don't need to spend it. Now, just a little bit of haul that I found at the thrift stores while we were down there. I found this frame, and it's a little 5x7, I think. Yeah, it's got to be a 5x7. So I really like this with the metal pieces on the side, and then it has the easel back. So I found this at Goodwill in Pensacola. This is non-stitchy related, but I had to buy it anyway. It was in a little antique shop, and it's a Pomeranian. Is that I'm not sure how to get it to focus. A Pomeranian Christmas ornament. And I don't think it's old. Only give $1.99 for it. But it's hard to find Pomeranian stuff that looks like a Pomeranian. So when I found this, it's like, oh yeah, that looks like Tootie. So I bought that. And then I found this at Goodwill, evidently, because there's a piece of the sticker on it. And I'm going to have to open it up. But my glasses are fogged up. I'm hot. I turned the air conditioner down lower than we normally use it, but, and then I had the fan on before I started, but I had to turn it off. Okay, come out of there. Goodness sakes. I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. Okay, let me just take the pattern out, and then you don't get that glare. So I paid $1.99 for this, and it's a quilt pattern. It's from Open Gate. It's called Fit to Be Geese. That's really a pretty quilt. But look at all the flying geese. But you also get a ruler with it, and it's the Fit to Be Geese ruler. So your geese will come out more even. So, and then it also had the instructions, but I didn't take that out. But yeah, I got that. So I thought, well, that was a deal. Because if any of you quilt, you know how expensive rulers are. So I got that. Now, here's the thing. I think I've made in prior videos. Let me do this. I think I have said in prior videos that I'm not doing any new crafts. I'm not learning how to do punch needle. I'm not going to do anything new. Well, evidently I am going to do something new, and that is diamond dots. I didn't think it was for me. I'm not one that likes the glitzy, you know, the sparkly things. So anyway, I found this at Goodwill. No, it wasn't at Goodwill. Is it? No. This is not a Goodwill sticker. So I found this for glasses, $2.99, and the box has just been beat up. And you can see there's part of it, and then there's a little raccoon, I guess it is. And I paid $2.99. Yeah, $2.99 for this kit. And it's brand new. Never been out of the box. There's all the beads, or I guess they're not beads, what do they call them? Drills, I think. And the piece you stick it to. Brand new. It's just the box was beat up. So for $2.99, I thought, and that's a really cute pattern, and I could hang that up with Christmas, and I wouldn't mind shiny, sparkly at Christmas. So, excuse me, my nose itches. Yeah, I bought it, and I'm going to have to learn how to do diamond dots. So, never thought I would, but, and then, diamond dot. Another $2.99 one. It starts, there's a palm tree right here, goes around here. It's a silhouette of a couple sitting on the beach. And it's called Sunset Dreaming. And I thought this would not go anywhere in my house, but it would go in my camper because our camper is decorated as a beach theme. Even though we are in Missouri and have no tropical place here, but so I got to do that one. So then that made me think, okay, let's just look at these diamond dot patterns on Amazon. So I'm sitting in a camper and I'm just scrolling through Amazon looking at diamond dot kits. It's like, no, didn't do much for me. And then I found these, and they're coasters. And you get Let me look here again. I think it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 8 coasters. And they are called, don't see it. Can't read it anyway, but I don't even think there's a brand name on here. It isn't. It's probably one of those China things. But anyway, yeah, hand-painted diamond, handmade diamond painting DIY. That's all it says. But they're tropical. There's a starfish. There is an angelfish. There is a sea turtle. There is a squid, which I'm not too fond of squids, but anyway, that's okay. Seahorse. Jellyfish. A shell. And a dolphin. No, wait a minute. Is that a dolphin or a whale? It's a whale. And they're acrylic on the back. And then I have sticky cork that goes on the back. So 8 of those with the little rack that you can put them in when you're done. The little tray, the little sticky thing, bags to put your little drills in, and all of your drills. And it was only $9.99. So I ordered that. I don't know. Spur of the moment idea, I guess, that I'm now going to learn how to do diamond dot. So along with diamond dot now, I cross stitch, knit, sew, quilt. So I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Yep, that's it. I did buy a new tote bag because I didn't have enough of those with having probably 40 tote bags. But I did buy a Gulf Shore State Park tote bag because I like to buy things that kind of help organizations and stuff. So I like to support the campground. And I got that. So that's it. Yep, that's it. Until next time. Okay, wow, this was an hour and a half. So I'm going to have to do another one before too long to kind of get caught up on everything. So if you stuck it out with me, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching, subscribing, and commenting. And I hope you didn't get bored with seeing everything. And I hope it was in some sort of organized way. Oh, right here in front of me, I forgot this. Do you know, I took my little tote. I have a little red tote that I fixed up when everybody was doing the little, like stitching cases. I found a bigger one and I put everything possible. I was going StitchCon. I was going to put everything possible in there I needed, from a Band-Aid to needles, scissors, notepads, everything. So I get down to Gulf Shores, and what do I not have in my tote? Scissors. Not a pair. So I don't know what happened to my scissors. I've not used that since StitchCon. So I don't know whether I left them at StitchCon last year or if I got them out for some reason and didn't put them back when we got home. Anyway, I found I had to stop and get scissors somewhere. So we stopped at a Joann's, and we did go to Joann's in Pensacola, and I bought a bunch of fabric there too. But I bought these and I love them because they're peacocks. And they have a nice sharp point. They were Janlin brand. I was going to say Fiskars, but they're Janlin brand. But I love the peacock look. Sorry for the shaky. So yeah, that was one of my finds. I just left them laying here on the table. So anyway, I have to go now because I got a lot of things to put up, and I need to get some other stuff done today. Steve went back to his playing pool on Tuesdays. So anyway, oh, if you follow me on Instagram, you know of our cicada invasion. My daughter was sending me pictures while we were gone because they don't have cicadas in Gulf Shores. But oh my God, they are awful. You go out in the yard and they land on your legs and your arms and get in your hair and your clothes, and which they don't scare me. They don't bother me. I just pick them off and they're fine. They don't bite. Their legs are sticky when they land on your skin, so you feel like you're getting pinched by something, but it's not bad. But anyway, we have the 13 and the 17-year cicadas, if you haven't heard, and they are absolutely everywhere. So our dogs are confined to the house wearing diapers, doggy diapers, because they like to go outside and eat them. And then you know what's going to happen when they come back in the house with an upset stomach. And I'm not going to deal with that. So until the locust, I keep wanting to call them locusts because they're not locusts, they're cicadas. That's totally different. So anyway, until the cicada invasion has gone away and we've cleaned up the yard, they are confined to their doggy diapers in the house because they don't know better than to eat nasty locusts. Cicadas. Cicadas. Okay, well, anyway, I have to go and get some more work done. So until next time, I hope you get lots of stitching done and enjoy your time. So enjoy the weather when it's nice and pray for the storms that are going through